Smith, and I just wanted to jump on here quickly to talk about a really exciting call I just got off with, a client call with somebody, and we were looking at how she could be using podcast guesting to position herself as the go-to expert in her field and attract the right kind of clients that she wants to work with and are best served by her, because she's got a really unique way of looking at things. But before I get ahead of myself, this amazing woman's name is Felicia GoPaul. Felicia is a financial counselor, coach, advisor, but she's more than just, you think of financial planner, and I don't know if it's just me, but when I hear that, I'm not saying my eyes glaze over, but you get the picture. It's not something that's like, yeah, sign me up for that. She has such a unique approach to this, something like I've never heard of before, but we didn't know that until we got on our call. So we not only were looking at the strategy and some ways that she could really be going big on this and get herself better known in her field for what she does and how she does it, but also not just podcast guesting. Felicia is actually a podcast host, and her podcast, as it currently stands, is not the marketing vehicle for Felicia that it should be. A lot of other people are getting all kinds of media attention through her podcast, but at the end of the day, by the time somebody finishes listening to her podcast, you might remember Felicia, but probably not. She was just kind of the MC of someone else's spotlight session, which I have to say, that is what my She's All That podcast is more like. It's more for my guests. But for Felicia, her podcast should be, and by all rights must be, a marketing tool for her business, so that when people get in there, they really understand what she does. It differentiates her from all the other people. And I have to say, after our discovery session today, looking at the podcast and what she's done with it, but where it could be going, and the tweaks and the changes that we can be making to that, I just love getting into the strategy of that. And it's all to position Felicia as she rightfully should be positioned, and in a way that doesn't just have people kind of roll their eyes back in disinterest. They need to know about this woman, and they need to know what she's doing. So when it comes to your podcast and or your podcast guesting, it's all about the strategy, and especially if you're using it for your marketing and your positioning. And that's what this is all about for Felicia, and it should be for you too. This is an incredible tool, one of the most efficient, most accessible tools you're going to find out there for elevating your brand and positioning you as the go-to authority. So what a pleasure that was, talking both about her podcast and then how she should be doing her podcast guesting, the kind of show she should be on, how she should be showing up, and the story that she should be telling, so that she is fully aligned in what she is doing, and no one has any doubt about what it is that she does and how they can be helped by the services she has. The whole thing of positioning and the strategy behind your podcast guesting, that is something, segue, that I'm going to be dealing with in my upcoming 3-day live training that I'm inviting you to be a participant in. If you are interested in getting either going with podcast guesting, or even if you've been doing it and you've had like really little impact from it, join us for this 3-day event. We're going to be looking at what you need to put in place as the foundation, the plan, so that you can be applying strategy like Felicia's going to be. Day 1, we're going to be looking at real life examples of people just like you, entrepreneurs, business people, business owners, thought leaders, action takers, who want to be using this accessible medium to get in and start growing a more complete media plan for themselves that includes other modalities like books, magazines, radio, television, speaking from the stage, how to get that all going. Looking at these examples on day 1 should give you the inspiration and creative ideas for how you could be using this for your business. Day 2 is all going to be about, okay, what's modified versions? What are you going to take from all these examples that we got and modify it to match your business goals? And what are the business goals that you have that can be supported and achieved through podcast guesting and creating this media campaigns with that as the foundation? And day 3, we're then going to be looking at, with the vision of what's possible and the clarity about how you're going to map that to your goals. Day 3 is all about the direction that you need to get going and make podcast guesting one of the most powerful tools that you've used to date. And totally, sorry, my hashtag for this year is hashtag breakthrough in 2022. And that's what I want for the people that are joining me for this program and for all my clients and for you. So thanks for hanging in here with me, and check out this Felicia GoPaul. If you are interested in a really unique, meaningful, life-changing approach to how your financial planning happens, this is somebody that you should be talking to. If you're somebody who wants to do what Felicia's doing and start leveraging podcasts, or easier, podcast guesting, come talk to me. Better yet, join us for the Podcast Guesting Prep School, February 15th to the 17th, and let's get you started. Breaking through